Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and I'm your astrologer for the September 2025 horoscopes. September is eclipse season. That's when things really shake and move. That's when we tend to get, if there is any natural disasters, they're most intense around that time, and those are happening on the axis of water, earth. So we have to watch out for that. The lunar eclipse on the 7th of September, the Virgo eclipse on the 21st of September, solar eclipse. So, whoo, and this is also a sign that in the next 6 to 12 months, because eclipses affect us globally for a long time, there will be big shifts in our medical system. Pisces, Virgo, they're connected to health, to medical things, matters about health and such stuff will be very important. Medical healing system, hospital system might be changing. Virgo is the workforce, and there will be other eclipses in Virgo. So something will shift for the next, already from September, but the job market in a big way. Watch this out. Of course, with AI and everything, oof, exactly those 2 years of eclipses in Virgo and Pisces. Pisces is unemployed, Virgo is working people. There will be like a huge change. Who is unemployed, who is working, maybe more unemployed people because of AI. We'll see this because the eclipse in Virgo is with the South Node, which is like weakening. In Pisces, with the North Node. So there might be like that more people will feel like, what are we going to do, Pisces? And where are we supposed to, are we unemployed now? What is our use? Well, Virgo is like, I feel useful and so on. So the eclipses are happening there on those two Pisces Virgo line. So medical, health, and working, non-working. So this is some of the themes, plus earth and water. You see, the other eclipse in Pisces or near Virgo was with Saturn, Neptune. We had the big water floods that happened in America right after this eclipse. Now let's pray. It's also hurricane season, so who knows? But on a personal level, the first eclipse, the lunar eclipse, is quite positive. It's trine Jupiter, its ruler. It's with the North Node, which tends to give us things for previous efforts, rewards us for something that we've wanted or you've worked on. While the next eclipse on the 21st of September is solar eclipse. It's about new beginnings, but it's with the South Node. You sacrifice something and the new is given to you, or you start the new, you open yourself to the new, and the old just leaves your life organically without effort. And Saturn is coming back to Pisces to finish old work. And actually, Saturn in Pisces cleans the slate, wipes the slate clean from past karmas. Think of problems that you had for the last 27, 8 years, or 14 or 7. These are Saturn cycles, or 21 years, or 14 or 7 or 28. That has been repeated. Saturn is coming back for the last 5 months here, together with an eclipse there, a lunar eclipse, which lasts for 3 months, to wipe it clean. So you start anew after that. So some repeating problems been bragging you, you're going to solve it in the next 5 months. But before I start with the 12 signs individually, I have a new course. I'm so excited. It's an ancient technique, 3,000 years old, ancient Hellenistic, the 3 periods of life. Everyone has 3 periods in life. Not everyone lives through all three. But there is a specific way and very easy. You don't need to know astrology. I lead you through that, how to calculate. For some people, the first period of life might be 17 to, for others, 38 years. And to analyze and to see, someone might be born in poverty and they shift into their second ruler, second life period, and they become so successful. Or someone might get into success and fortune and improved life and health only in the third period, so in their 70s, 60s, or some people move into the third period at 50. So for everyone is different, and I'll show you how exactly to calculate it, how to compare the periods, which is stronger, which is weaker. So you have a sense, like my first 38 years, I was in a very weak planet. And now I moved after that. So life has been wonderful into a much stronger planet. So or someone might be like very successful, famous, or, in the young adult years, popular and very promising. And then suddenly they disappear. They enter into their second period, which might be very weak in their horoscope, and they're like Mr. Nobody. So fantastic, only $20 for early bird purchases. Again, I want it to be very accessible to you. Um, and now let's go to the eclipses September for each of the 12 signs. Thank you. Aries Sun Moon Rising using tropical Western astrology. Aries Saturn is leaving your sign where it stayed for the last 2-3 months, just to give you a little bit of a sense how it's gonna act for the next 3 years, but it's coming back to your 12th house in Pisces to approximately February 2026. So for the next 4 to 5 months, you're given a chance to finish some job that you haven't completed. Not only that, Saturn is moving on the 1st of September back to Pisces, your 12th house. But there is also an eclipse on the 7th of September in Pisces, lunar eclipse, which acts for 3 months, 3 to 4 months after that. So they'll be working simultaneously. Saturn in Pisces in your 12th house and the lunar eclipse in Pisces in your 12th house to help you. And lunar eclipses are about completing something again. It's about ending something. After the moon has grown that much, it can only start becoming smaller, full moon eclipse. But it's going to be much more impactful because it's an eclipse. It's like a completion of something, ending of something with a bang that you'll be able to do even already in September. But as I said, the window of both of those planets, the eclipse and Saturn retrograde in your 12th house, the influence is for about 5 months, 3 to 4 or 5 months ahead. So you're given a chance to complete something, to wrap up something, or full moon eclipse can also give you illumination, answer, deep realization, emotional deep realization about something that is lingering in your subconscious. And Saturn can give clarity as well, because Saturn likes to really kind of put structure and simplicity into whatever it's passing. And the 12th house is the area of our subconscious as Aries. So something, usually these are subconscious drives or compulsions. It can be even some self-sabotaging behaviors. We don't want to do something consciously, but we keep doing it, for example. And it might be rooted in past lifetimes. It might be rooted in something that we have forgotten and buried deeply in the subconscious that is very hard to remember. And there's no point trying to remember, but some of you might even remember it with the illumination of the full moon eclipse on the 7th of September for the next 2-3 months, and Saturn working there to deconstruct it and to restructure it and to reorganize your subconscious. So you can have some breakthroughs, let's say, in September, October, November, December, into January, into how your subconscious is working. Maybe you've been self-sabotaging yourself about something. 12th house is the house of addictions, the house of things that we do unconsciously that we don't understand why we do. It's a house of, let's call it even a bit of darkness in the subconscious. We really, it's a dark area there for us. And those two potent influences can help you almost like bring to the surface in some way and work on and decompose and restructure the subconscious and program it in more holistic, in more healthy, in more positive ways, let's say. And this full moon can also give you deep realizations, emotional realizations that can free you, for example, from addictions, that can free you from some dependencies, that can free you from some irrational fears. 12 house rules the houses of phobias, fears, things that we might want on the conscious level to do, but something is stopping us. And that this is the self-sabotaging. This is the 99% of the unconscious that we're not aware of. So this is where and it's internal work, you see. It can appear, answers can appear to you about unresolved, long-standing unresolved issues. Some of those issues might be a whole Saturn cycle, 28, 29 years, that and the 12th house is the house of endings, and the eclipse and Saturn there is like one last push is going to help you in a very powerful way to resolve some old standing problem, for example, to let it go. 12 houses about letting go. You no longer need it, because when Saturn enters into your sign again in February 2026, you're starting a new chapter in life. Maybe not immediately in February, depends if you're early Aries or late Aries like me. It might be into 2027 that Saturn comes right to your sun or moon or ascendant, but you're already from February starting on the new path. And before that, you need to clear up a lot of the old rubble, a lot of the old underwater stones that you're tripping on and you're not aware of. So for some of you, it might be good, like very powerful revelations through some kind of shadow work or psychological work or just in dream life. 12th house is the dream life where you can this lunar eclipse, deep emotional realizations, even connection to invisible worlds, ancestry, or psychics, or that you get those some intuitive realization that gives you an answer about something. But it is about releasing, letting go, healing as well. This will be a lot of the themes there. And when Saturn enters your sign, it will be about building new foundations. But you first have to clear up whatever was there, the ground, the weeds, and so on. And this is the process you're beginning. And probably it will be much easier for you now than at any other time in life to release the old. Also, the 12th house on a more mundane level, everyday level, where both Saturn retrograde in Pisces, both the eclipse, is about unfinished business. So going back to finish some business, some project maybe. It is about expenses. So it is a possibility that there might be some extra expenses, but it's kind of a final thing to complete something. Yes, so they can be indication for a few months that there is more expenses than normal, but it's like wrapping up some job. 12th house is also connected to spiritual studies, the dream life. As I said, it can be very potent. You can get answers for long-standing questions through your dreams during that period. So pay attention to them. And also, it's time to work on improving your sleep and rest. The eclipse can give you some revelation how you can sleep better. Saturn can make you have the discipline to improve your sleep life because that's where the soul and body recharges, and you will need it for the new beginnings that all Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising are starting when Saturn enters fully into our sign. 12th house is also far away of foreign countries. There might be some job that you have to do there, or is the imaginary creative world, the world of downloading ideas from the invisible world. So some of you might be working on some such download that you receive. It's 12th house is the house of intuitive insights and secrets. These two planets can activate some secret, the realization of it. So yeah, write to me over the next 2-3 months, come back to this video. Did anything like that come back? But there is possibility of completion and endings and letting go, but it needs to go from your life. Things will be going from your life, but it needs to go because the full moon eclipse is also with the north node. So whatever is being completed or realized or ending, which is a full moon, starting to decline in your life after that, or seeing the results, you can also, I'll get back to that in a little bit, but whatever is ending, it's because the north node is the future opportunities, is because it wants to represent to you future opportunities. And Saturn, the 12th house is also, and the full moon as well, it's about getting results of previous actions. And Saturn can be one of the most rewarding planets. Even in the 12th house, if you've done good work, good job, conscientious, moral, without shortcuts, if you've put the efforts and energy and you did it in the right way, this can be a time for reaping and rewards. It's the final sign, the 12th house. So when you're completing something, you can reap rewards if you've done the right work. Then we have another eclipse on the 21st Aries, which is going to happen in our 6th house from Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. And I want to speak a little bit about that because this is the second new moon in Virgo. This is very rare. We'll have two new moons in the same sign. Usually there is one new moon in each of the 12 signs every year. So God has determined the first one happened on the 23rd of August, the second one on the 21st of September. The first one happened at 0 degree in Virgo, the second one at 29 degree. So it's like a big, big exclamation mark on the sign Virgo. For you, it's the eighth house. Sorry, for you, it's the sixth house. Aries. That God is saying, I'm giving you double chance. You need to start something new there. You see, in Pisces, we're releasing, we're restructuring, finishing something in this 12th house that we talked about. In the sixth house, we're being called double 2 times to start something new, Aries. And usually a new moon lasts for about a month. So it started the whole September, basically, from the end of August. And then towards the end of September, another new moon there. And it would last not only for another month, but no, it's an eclipse, solar new moon eclipse, which duration is 6 months. So we have like a 7 month period that the universe has determined for everyone in certain area in life, they have to start something new. And for Aries, it is about new routines, new health habits, maybe a new diet, something that, and eclipses, they can even start by a crisis. So there can be some, crisis, frustration with health or, with your how you take care of your body. Hopefully not, but or some deep realization again that shifts you, because eclipses, they shift, they shake the core of ourselves. The eclipses are the most evolutionary. They create the biggest evolution, eclipses, in the personal life. Um, of course, we don't feel every eclipse. Many times we don't feel it, but I have to tell you the worst case and the most intense way how it can play out, or the best case. And this is like we're asked and we're given not just 1 month with this new moon, like we have every year, new moon in September in your sixth house, but it's 2 new moons there and an eclipse, solar eclipse, which is like double, triple the influence. You have to do something about health, about routine, start a new workout routine, start a new way of eating, for example, taking care of your body, start a new, and the eclipse is with the south node. I forgot to mention that. So what is that? The south node is about completing and letting go of stuff. So maybe you need to let go of something, maybe some other unhealthy habits, and build on new ones. Or the opposite. You might start new healthy habits, but in the energy of the eclipse, it says that when you start something new here, say for your health, healthy habits, it will allow you to release unhealthy ones, because we have like the energy of new beginnings plus sacrificing something or letting go of something. It's actually might be easier to start for something and then you release something. Sixth house is also work. So maybe you're asked to start a new direction in your work, maybe a new way to be efficient, a new way to get the work done, or maybe integrating some new technology in your work, or integrating a new method, or a new project altogether. That will be important. That will be a few months at least. Or for some of you, Aries, can be a new job altogether. But that entails in it sacrificing or giving up an old one or an old project, or you start a new responsibility or duty or project or work. And in the process of that, you release some other they have to step back, like, so because there is no time or whatever, some other duties and responsibilities that will fall off for you. What else is sixth house? So it is health, it is work, it's employees. If you have employees, so people say you've hired someone to do your apartment. This would be sixth house people as well, which is like hired hand, help. There can be something there as well for some of you that you're dealing with, that there is new beginnings in some way. This is exactly what happened with me on this new moon in the sixth house as an Aries, like a crew of 5 people that are working for me on some project we started. So this is another way, a new project or a new job of some sort, or hiring new employees. And again, because it's an eclipse, it can come through some kind of crisis sometimes. And this lunar solar eclipse is opposite Saturn. So it can start in a more difficult way, that you're pushed towards those changes, but it also is saying that you have the staying power to carry it through. And whatever new thing you start now, Aries, this September, because of the 2 new moons in Virgo, whether it's the beginning of September, the end, you are still under this energy. And it's connected to health, to routines, to business, to work, to duties and responsibilities, even to some debt, or connected to employees in some way, or even pets. You can get like a new pet. And it's going to be life defining because it's an eclipse. Eclipse is fated event. It's not just a random thing or small scale. It's something bigger. And whatever you start initially, there might be resistance, or it might be going slower than expected. But there is also a lot of other supporting aspects to this eclipse from Pluto, from Uranus. So there'll be a lot of help. So don't give up on it. So there you go, Aries. Yeah, and if you'd like to learn the 3 stages of your life, I've created, it's a fantastic ancient techniques that I tested for the last few days, few weeks, and it works so precise, 70-80%, to see which parts of life are they difficult, is the next part of life easier or more invisible, more challenging or more successful, more fame prone, or so on. This is an incredible tool, astrological technique to check out on my new short webinar, and I'm putting a link below. Thank you and enjoy the eclipse season.